Hello everyone and welcome to episode 76 of Podcast of Five Rings, your source of enlightenment in the realm of video games, tabletop, anime, film, and tech. Each episode of Podcast of Five Rings releases Monday mornings on iTunes and SoundCloud, and topic by topic, day by day on YouTube, with the full video releasing on Friday. Catch updates about the podcast or for other news, give us a follow on your social media platform of choice, listed in the description below. I'm your host, GM, and plague bringer of Podcast of Five Rings, Obsidian. Sick for a whole week and it's still here. Back from the joys of recent fatherhood is the wall that will not fall, Tetsuo.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Quote unquote.
Congrats. Thanks. Again. How's the past it's been 2 weeks now, hasn't it?
Yep, 2 weeks as of yesterday. So she's 2 weeks and 1 day old.
Yeah, almost a Valentine's baby.
Almost. I am a little bit happy that she's not. But
she's also very close to your birthday.
Yeah, it's funny because we have so many people in my family that have February birthdays, so it's just the birth month, I guess, for our family.
Mm-hmm. And we got the resident wildcard, Mao.
Yo.
And Meta is off doing meta stuff. He's thinking about that DMC5. And not Kingdom Hearts 3. So what's everybody been up to lately?
Babysitting.
lots of babysitting.
Pokemon ROM hacks.
Which ROM hacks have you been playing?
I started with Gaia.
I have not played or heard of that
me on all the others.
You should play Crystal Clear.
Which one's that?
That's the open world Gen 2 one.
Oh, I thought that was Liquid Crystal.
I think it's Crystal Clear. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's really good. I played about half of it.
I was looking for unique, story, not necessarily fake one, but just unique regions and stuff. Though right now I'm playing through Cloud White or Cloud Whitefire. I can't remember the name of it.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, you play through. It's just normal Fire Red, but then you go to Johto and then 2 unique regions.
Oh man, that sounds awesome.
One of the regions involves a shogunate in the storyline and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been what I've been playing.
What have you been doing, Mal? What have you been doing?
Other than that, I don't know, I've hung out with some friends and then watched some random Netflix stuff. Dragon Prince Season 2 came out.
You damn millennial.
What?
it's fine.
You're a millennial too.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm turning against my own kind. It's the doomer in me.
How dare you, Obs?
Yes,
what about you, Obs? What have you been doing?
Other than
just being sick?
Other than laying in bed and watching Well, I was laid in bed all last weekend and watched Magic. It was a good Pro Tour. We got lots of...
Oh, yeah. It was one of the best Pro Tours in a long while, I think.
Yeah, we got lots of good deck variants. It looks like Mono Blue Tempo is the king to dethrone right now, but...
Yeah, as much as I don't like Mono Blue, I quite like Tempo. There are some really good plays.
Oh, yeah.
Very tight plays. The Pro Tour this time, and it was really good.
Yep. I did that. I've been watching... I've been watching Sangatsu no Line, which is amazing. I'm on
I gotta remember
season 2 of that now. It's really good. I might backdoor that for a topic when I get done with the whole anime, because I was telling Mal, it's got the potential to be up there. It's just really well done. And I've been replaying through Final Fantasy 15, the greatest game of all time.
Why?
Never beat it, right?
Because almost the whole game's out now, Mal. Or Cats. Finally.
Yeah. All but the prequel, basically.
Yeah,
the prequel gameplay.
I'd been wanting to replay it for a while. I'd started my new file. No, I hadn't started my new file, but I think the Arden stuff, I saw it and I was finally like, it's time to get the... No, it was before that, but it was Kingdom Hearts 3 more so that kind of was like...
Is it really just seeing the faux 15 stuff is like, I should play actual 15?
I need to replay this and see if it holds up. That reminded me to replay it finally, and I wanted to see if it still holds up. It still holds up for me. It's really fun. I've been enjoying the heck out of it. I started on the Ignis DLC earlier, and I think I might just play as Ignis the rest of the game because he's so fun to play as. It's fun his different elemental style daggers is cool. That whole scene is dope. The Ignis DLC is great. So
yeah, it's I think the best one, definitely.
And then you told me there's an alternate ending, so now I have to see this alternate ending, and I want to see what all they changed for Chapter 13, which was the infamously panned section of the game.
Yeah, when the game just goes, close enough.
We're almost at the end. It doesn't matter.
You're here this long. We can't do that much to get rid of you.
We only got a few more hours left. Get through it, champ. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. It still sits right there, number 3. I'm thinking. So
number 3 of what?
In my Final
15.
Fantasy rankings. Noctis is still the best character in any Final Fantasy game, of course. I don't think I need to go through that again. I don't think I can with my voice cracking and squeaking. But
I think you should.
I can't cut a promo again right now. But anyways, let's get on to our topics, shall we? The first topic, my topic, is something that I've alluded to on the podcast many times. I've said the Switch needs one thing to become a resounding success. And Tuesday, I believe we were hinted, or it was announced, the step towards this one thing that I said the Switch needed. And that is a true blue Pokemon game. So we got a Pokemon Direct yesterday for Gen 8, which is titled Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yay! I think.
Tets is probably a little... I think he said he's a little less excited for this just because he doesn't have a Switch. But
yeah, but I say that, but I am actually really excited about this because of all of the possibilities it opens up. I'm just sad that I won't partake of it, is more the truth.
Well, you can live vicariously through Mao and I suppose. Maybe
guess.
Lily and Meta, if she forces Meta to play it. But, so we got Pokemon Sun and Moon Sword and Shield announced. This is Gen 8 on the Switch. They really didn't reveal a lot of info about the game, but we got more than I thought we were going to get, actually. I thought we would just get maybe the logos and a brief bit of gameplay, but we got starters.
I really wanted to see in-game or in-engine stuff, and we got to see some walking around.
Yeah,
the cities stuff, and
it was just the game. It was no Mewtwo movie stuff, no Detective Pikachu stuff. It was all about the game.
7 minutes of Sword and Shield.
Yep. So the region is the Galar region, which seems to be based off Northern United Kingdom.
Yeah, the Greater British Island. Or UK,
Scotland and
Island, whatever.
Yep, lots of Scotland, probably a little bit of Wales and Northern England.
Yeah, I believe it's reverse, like turned north and south flipped or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what people were saying.
It's really vertical, which this is something we were talking about during the Direct, or maybe a little bit after. Was and one thing that people are worried about, which is not a concern for me really, is linearity in the game.
Yeah, because Pokemon games are always linear.
Exactly. That's my point. They've always been like, there's never really that many different gyms you can do in a different order. Really, maybe there's like 1 or 2 or 3 at most. I think but
not really.
Gen 1 and 2 were probably the most divergent, but you were still kind of going along the same line. It was just, when did you fight the actual gym leader?
Yeah, which gyms are back.
Yep, they are back. No more trials, which I didn't mind the trials, but that is a much more fitting thing for like the whole Hawaiian-esque kind of
thing
we got with Gen 7.
The aesthetic that they were presenting.
A lot of people were happy those are back, though. Which I'm fine either way, honestly. But I do think gyms make more sense. One of them appears to be a soccer top gym, so maybe they'll keep the like little mini game challenges.
Yeah,
kind of
it might be its own whole separate mini game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it felt more like that than an actual gym in and of itself.
Are you ready for freaking Blitzball in Pokemon? Because my body has been ready for years. I want to play soccer with Tyranitar. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I'm not.
I'll use Whalmer as my goalie.
Better. He's like 20-something feet
Lord,
long or something. Yeah, I mean either would be fine, I guess. So yeah, I'm not really. We don't even know if it's even going to be linear or not. I mean, again, the layout of the zone just suggests it is, but
yeah, I mean, you can like the map they've shown is decently detailed, so you can kind of like follow the road. At the very end, it looks like it can go in like 3 different directions.
Yeah, there's like 3 different cities.
Yeah, that's towards the end game, I would assume, is where it might give you some go this or that way, but more realistically, it'll probably block off one area until you beat the other, and then you can backtrack through it.
Yeah,
there's a Pokemon there that you can't defeat until you get the new HM in order to defeat him.
We don't even know if HMs are back yet, or are they going to do rod Pokemon? Or...
No, the playing through ROM hacks, it's like, or of like the older games, which is Emerald and Fire Red, or like the most of them. I don't want HMs ever in my new Pokemon games.
I'm not a fan of HMs.
So
either.
They have overlived their welcome. It just takes up useless spots on my team.
I saw one person's suggestion was that like certain Pokemon have just like in the old one where they have only certain Pokemon can learn certain HMs. You just kind of unlock the ability to use whatever power you need on your Pokemon by beating a certain gym leader. And just have it not be a move at all.
I also wouldn't mind it if they were just better moves. Like, I think Surf is like... Surf and Waterfall, I think, are the only 2 good
Strength is okay, but...
It's normal type,
normal, that's the problem, yeah.
I remember in the early stuff, Fly wasn't too bad.
No, but it just takes a while.
Right.
Because it has to fly up for a turn and then attack. But
yeah, we don't know what they'll do there. I'd be shocked if they went back to HMs, but
yeah,
you never know. They had them in XY, didn't they?
Yeah, right. I think so.
I believe so. Yeah. So I mean, it's only 2 generations back. They're going back to gyms, so maybe they will, but I hope not.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've seen people be kind of displeased in, but another thing that I'm glad that they didn't change is the graphical style, the engine the game runs on.
Oh, really?
I'm actually fine with the 3DS engine because I actually really like that aesthetic.
It's definitely more detailed, but I think it could stand to be a bit more refined, even.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I won't disagree there.
I don't think they're really pushing the Switch at all.
No, they're not at all.
With them not is, I think,
the
it
Go
just kind of comes across as maybe a little lazy.
Yeah, the Let's Go probably pushes it a little further, honestly. But I think like the character models and stuff just look better than. I'm definitely glad they didn't do the Let's Go style. I'll say that. I agree that they could have done more. And hopefully the battles run at least at 30 frames per second because they get really rough on the 3DS. And if they can't, then I don't know, maybe it can't run that much better on the Switch.
I mean, at least with that engine, I think I think if they had a brand new engine or something, then if they're actually using the 3DS style, I don't know. Like, I don't know, but they should be able to. Like, a Switch is, it's like around PS3 levels of strength, I believe. Like, it's not current generation, but it's not a weak machine by any means.
No. But yeah, I mean, it's still, the world still looks good. It looks colorful. Again, the character I really just like the anime character models from Gen 6 and Gen 7.
You like how Shield looks, right?
Yeah.
She looks like, what's her face? Trash can from Misoki.
Her hat's cute. I don't remember what that hat's called, but it's cute. I like the way the guy looks too. I think I like them better than the Gen 7 models. They look a little bit older. Like the Gen 5 characters. I think Gen 6, Gen 5 and 6 characters. I like the little older-ish looking ones. Rather than like the I'm 9 or 10 or however old.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they'll have where you can change outfits again, maybe.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Better have some fashion souls in here, Game Freak. I would love, and I don't think they're going to do it, but I'd love for you to be able to travel to Kalos.
Yeah, I've seen some people already speculating because there's an unfinished train in Kalos region when you're playing through X and Y.
Oh shoot! Oh man, going through that the channel under the channel.
Yeah, you can actually see in the picture I posted on the lower left-hand side. There's a train. But
shit,
we'll see.
That would be hop.
I mean, I don't think as much as everyone wants multiple generations or regions, I don't think it works as well as people think it's gonna.
Yeah,
it's just more gameplay.
Well, but I mean, like, right, like part of it was when they first did it in Gen 2, I think, was just to have you have a new area to get the Pokemon and then go back to the old one. But now,
well, Gen 2 was like, oh, Iwata, master of all, was like, oh, I shrunk the code in half. We can actually tack on this whole other region.
That's fair.
It was all like last minute, kind of.
But I mean, like in everything past that point, like, right, like you can catch all of Gen 1 through Gen, whatever at any point. Well,
by the time you beat the Elite, or the Elite Four or whatever, you're kind of getting up there in levels. Like, you either kind of have to reset, or like the whole next region can't be that like you can't do it all over again, really.
Right.
Maybe you don't have to do all the gyms. Maybe you can just like travel there and do some post game content.
Yeah,
because even Fire Red and Leaf Green had the islands.
The Sevi Islands, yeah.
So that was at least interesting. I'd like to see like a post game area that you.
I think Emerald had like a small area they added in.
Yeah.
To post Elite Four, but yeah, I mean, I don't mind post Elite Four stuff. I just don't think it really works to have a whole nother region, like, of stuff to do. Really.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they do. So I guess honestly, the last thing to talk about is the starters. We got Grookey, we got Score Bunny, and we got the one I want to pick, whose name I can't remember.
Sobble.
Yes.
Got Sob in the name.
Yep. Grookey is the grass starter. He's a little monkey guy. Oh, that's what it is. I didn't.
Yeah,
I never got to put that together.
He's all about. He's got his little drumstick.
Yeah.
He appears on the screen, he's tapping on a rock.
The drumstick and the hair is cute, but Mao is anti-monkey.
Yeah, I'm not big on monkeys. They're like monkeys and horses are like my least favorite animals.
So he's number 3 for you.
I know that there hasn't been a whole bunch of them, but I almost want to say that I'm almost burned out on monkeys being starters, even though I can only think of the one.
There's just the one.
Yeah, the ape.
I don't know. I just
I mean, it was chimp originally, and it evolves into Infernape, which I believe does have a tail, though, despite the name. When I look back,
there's also the elemental monkeys from Gen 5.
Yeah, those those are the ones I think Game Freak wishes everyone would forget, because they always come at the bottom of Pokemon polls. Like official Pokemon polls in Japan, at least, they always come at the bottom. Like I believe, I think it's the fire one, the evolution of the fire one, but it could be any of them.
Yeah.
Was officially at the very bottom, considered like the worst.
Yeah. Where do you rate him at, Tets? 1 through 3, 1 being the best. Where's Grookey?
Grookey's definitely 3.
Oh, wow. Y'all are both down on Grookey, huh?
Yeah.
To be fair,
Get blown out,
almost
Grookey
always-
game.
Grass is almost always going to be number 3 for me.
Yeah,
though.
it's just not a good top, sadly.
I have consistently been Firestarter since Gen 1. Like, I don't know what it is, but I really like Firestarters.
Alright, what does Grookey end up being his dual top? Buzz last evolution,
Rock.
do we think?
Because rock music.
I'm going fighting.
He's probably going to be like some Beatles or punk rock style a third Evo.
For sure.
I want rock, but for some reason, I was thinking it was going to be ground, and I don't know where I got that from. I just know that's what my brain.
That'll be our second grass ground starter, so. Because we had Terra. Torterra.
Who I actually do love.
I always pick him Gen 4 as well.
Trying to think. I think I've been on grass since Gen 4 for my first playthrough. I think I've chosen grass.
Rowlet is the best one from 7, in my opinion. Grass Ghost is also just cool, but
Grovyle is the only grass starter I don't like.
Litten is awesome, and everything after that is just not great.
I don't like Litten.
I like Litten, he's cute.
I like Litten the whole way.
Well, I don't like Incineroar, I should say.
Pooplio can get out.
I like Poplio more than I like Litten, the lines at least.
Oh no, Mal. Alright, what about Scorbunny?
But honestly, Sun and Moon are my least favorite starters out of everything.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Alright, what about Scorbunny, guys? Where's he ranking?
He's my 2.
He's my 1. At least right now,
tentatively.
3.
3.
He's been very divisive, I believe I've seen, like, across the internet.
There's a good bit of trepidation, I feel like, because he
looks
like Chespin. He's got Chespin face.
Yeah, but he already feels like he's going to be firefighting.
Right.
I don't think people want to see
I want to see it.
You just want to see it for the chaos, Mal.
Yeah, some people just want to watch the world burn, and right now I'm one of those people when it comes to this.
Fair
but
enough.
They're firefighters. They'll stop it from burning.
I think he's going to end up being fire electric. I'm going to jump on that.
Electric and ground are like the 2 most I've seen.
I can see fire ground
somebody
too.
Explain it to me. Why fire electric? I do not.
He's so energetic.
Yeah, and quick. He like was Scooty Puff Jr. and along.
Yeah, he's like Sonic basically, and that's
electricity. He literally does look like a Sonic character, actually.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like, to me personally, that feels like a little bit of connection. I don't know.
And he looks he could also pass for a Pikachu clone, almost.
Yeah.
So,
I saw.
Which are almost always electric.
I actually saw someone on Twitter post an art that was potential leak for his final design, which, if true, he would be Steel.
It's not.
Yeah, I doubt it is either. It looks way too weird, but.
Did you have the other 3?
No, it only had him.
Okay. I was gonna say someone posted a 4chan rumor going around or as a leak, but I think it was just people guessing. And they had Fire Steel as the Scorbunny thing.
Gotcha. It probably came from the same place then.
Right.
Then we got
okay with Fire Steel.
Fire Steel's cool.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
I think he'd also be double ground weakness there, but
yeah.
Fire electric, I also like. Again, I've always done fire, and electric's been my close second. So I would be okay with fire electric. I just don't know that I see it in Scorpion.
Types honestly mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, aesthetic is the most important thing.
But top, Mal, where's my dark, edgy boys?
Back when I used to rock playing the trading card game, everything was fire electric. That was
you were one of those kids, right?
I was
the fire electric kid.
All about that damage, man. Come on.
It's the I'm not gonna say it. All right, and Sobble. Sobble is my number one. I usually favor
the internet
water
just wants to
Pokemon.
protect him.
I know he's cute. He's crying. He's the sad boy.
Everyone on the internet can relate because he's got social anxiety.
He does the little Shikamaru pose where he cups his hands together and thinks. He's a cute boy. He's cute. I want to protect him.
Chameleon.
I want to protect him, and he's water.
I don't know why, but to me, he feels like a repeat of Froakie. Like
Froakie.
I don't.
He is very
like,
small, like Froakie.
Yeah, to me, he almost feels like he is just banking off the same things that made Froakie number one from that.
Yeah,
gen.
but Frokie's a cool, edgy ninja boy. This is
Yeah.
a sad boy.
And I'm gonna be really upset if he ends up being cool, edgy, and I really feel like he's gonna go that route, and I don't know why. And that's why he's my number two.
I think it's because of he's a lizard, and Charmeleon was a lizard, so they wanted him to be looking like a dragon.
Yeah, I think it'll end up being Water Dragon, just to also fit with the British.
I don't know if they'd give a starter dragon type, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it's dragon for a starter, I'm gonna be genuinely upset because...
I mean, they've done Steel, which is a really good type as well. Like,
but not quite.
Just make him defensive, so then it doesn't even matter. Well, at least for competitive, anyways, I guess. But I can see that, or maybe Water Ghost, since he goes invis.
That was the 4chan rumor was Water Ghost for him.
Oh, gotcha. What was the rumor for Grookey's final?
I think it was Rock type. Can't remember.
But yeah, he's been listening to too much My Chemical Romance. He's a dark. He's that kind of emo, crawling in my skin. And
we'll see.
I want to protect him. So yeah, I'm
Yeah, I liked it. It looked cool. I really like the aesthetic, honestly. Like way more than I've liked any in a while, I think, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, people were talking about UK, and I was like, UK doesn't seem very interesting, but it does look very cool.
I
very
honestly,
industrial, which is like, you know, a bit older UK.
I want to see more of like Scottish myth being in the Pokemon themselves, or Gaelic myth in general.
Yeah,
like,
we should get some cool fairies. We better get some cool fairies.
Yeah, we'll
some
see.
cool fairies, some
I don't think we get a ton of Pokemon that usually connect to the theme. It's usually only a very few.
Yeah, but I still would love
theme.
to, like, if we could get a Dullahan, I would be really happy.
Yeah, I think
I
Gen
want a
7
Corgi.
had a decent amount of them. But
Remember
the
Or if we can get a Corgi, I will be super excited about having a Corgi.
yeah, that's what Mal was saying earlier. Corgis. But yeah, I'm super excited. I bet they will. I bet this will launch holiday with the new Switch.
They always launch in November, so it's just gonna be another November release.
It's got to come out with the new Switch. It'll be bundled. It'll sell tons of new Switches. Like, this is... Nintendo need to get this game out. I'm glad it's still this year, at least for now. And I think they'll stick to it, especially if they're reusing a lot of the old engine. And
it also looked like they might... Some people are speculating, at least, they might be changing up the way you do battles. Like, it's not on screen like Let's Go. It did look like the person was crouched in the grass looking for Pokemon when it showed.
Yeah.
So maybe you have like a toggle or something.
Yeah.
Because I actually would have preferred the on-screen. Because that's like one of the best things in more modern JRPGs is enemies on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
if there's some way to like just turn it basically auto repel, like I'd also be fine with that. Just gets
random encounters
gets so tedious after a while.
Yeah, that was probably honestly one of the best things about Let's Go. So that was another complaint I saw a lot of people have. I just forgot to bring up.
Yeah,
but no, I agree with you. That's I don't know if they'll be in, but hey, maybe they'll find a way to fit it in somehow. But yeah, I'm even so, I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to the game. and it's going to sell a lot of Switches. It's going to make Nintendo a lot of money.
Yeah.
The Switch was already the best-selling console last year. This might put it there again.
Yeah, it'll be close, I guess. But I mean, if they can get out before Black Friday.
Yeah, that's the big thing. So, all right, let's get on to the next topic. It is Tets. What you got?
All right. Well, talking about games that are upcoming, although this one's already released. PlayStation Plus for March. One of the games that will be free for PlayStation Plus members is The Witness. It is a puzzle game, 3D puzzle game that came out, I think, in 2016. I want to say
16 or 17, one of the two. Can't remember.
And I know I picked it up when it dropped, and I loved the hell out of that game.
A lot of people did.
It definitely it made some noise when it dropped.
Yep. It was done by Jonathan Blow, who did Braid in 2008, I think. Or no, when did Braid drop? I think it was 2008. Anyway, but it started development in 2009, and it took them till 2016 to finish it.
Wow.
I'm not really sure exactly what caused that. I think it had something to do with funding, because he was trying to fund everything on his own. But I don't fully remember. I know I read the story at one point, and I don't fully remember exactly everything that contributed to it. But it ended up taking 7 years development.
But did it take 13?
No.
Or 11?
Not quite that bad.
Get on my level, buddy.
I think that it was originally going to be on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 even, but then it, because of the time frame, ended up being on the next gen. But anyway, it is one of the best puzzle games I've played in a long time, and until I don't know when we'll see another puzzle game quite like it. It was inspired by Myst. I don't know if you guys played Myst at all.
I've not, but I've heard of it as well.
Yeah, it's an early puzzle.
It's a very big mid-90s game. Like, it's very, or at least it's very beloved by its fans and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually recently picked it up on Good Old Games and played through the first 3 games, there's only 3 in this series. And they were a lot of fun, but they were more point and click than Witnesses. With The Witness, you have something like 650 puzzles in the game total. Most of them are on these like little LCD screens that show up throughout the map. And the map is split into different areas, and so each area will have a different puzzle type that it focuses on. But sometimes you won't, it never teaches. First off, it never teaches you anything on how to complete the puzzles. There's no tutorial. It teaches through environmental learning. So you'll start off with one puzzle, and then the next puzzle that's right down the pathway will implement on that, and so on and so forth, until you start getting to the branching point. So maybe you'll go to the desert area, and you're getting through their puzzles, and you're doing fine, but then suddenly you're stuck on one. Well, it might have an aspect from a puzzle over in the mountainous area. And so, you want to kind of just keep going around the island. But what's interesting to me is that it's going back to that environmental storytelling that we talked about, way back when Prey came out. It has a lot of that, obviously, because of the way it teaches you how to play the puzzles. But there's also kind of the story on the island. You start seeing people that have been turned to stone, or at least stone people, I should say. And you're trying to kind of you don't have to, but it's kind of what happened. This is, I'm alone.
But there's no other people, right?
Correct.
So yeah, it's all environmental storytelling. Yeah, that's really good.
Yep.
I love environmental storytelling.
And in some cases, you have
games.
Yeah. Not quite, but
yeah. Honestly, Fallout is actually really good with random environmental storytelling. They do a lot with just setting up, some certain like skeletons and props and stuff. But
Yeah. Very similar. Like there was one area in the Witness in the central area that you can get to like really fast, where you have a guy that's turned to stone, and he's standing there with his arms kind of up, and in front of him there's like 6 or 7 stone balls that are just sitting there. But then his shadow has him like looking like he's juggling, and then the balls have been like their shadows have been burned into the ground. So it looks like he was in the middle of juggling when whatever happened.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a few that kind of start getting like a little bit creepy, and I'm not gonna share them just in case you guys want to try to find them. But there's some interesting little like, oh, how did that happen? points in the game. One of the other ways that it handles its storytelling is through these like pre-recorded recording devices that are hidden throughout the island, and most of them are easy to get to, but some of them require you to like complete puzzles to get them. And they're always quotes, either philosophical, scientific, religious.
Oh, okay, so not like literal voice recordings of someone just talking to themselves for no reason.
No, yeah, but it is voice recordings of somebody reading these. So.
Right, but not like it's not like it's a lot of games love to use voice recordings of people talking to themselves in situations they really don't have any reason to be talking to themselves.
Exactly, and that's why I say it does the environmental storytelling right, because rather than doing that in the thing, it might be like this recording of like a scientific like quote, say, and then you look around and you see what's going on around you, and you suddenly realize that, oh, this quote is apropos to this stage of these things around me, but I still am not quite sure what happened. But it kind of gives me a little bit more like acumen into trying to determine what happened, and it does a really good job with that. It, to some people, it might be a little anticlimactic, I guess might be the word. Not quite unsatisfying. I don't know, but I really like the way that they did that. Like a lot of it is just kind of left open. Did you guys ever play the Talos Principle?
Nah.
No, but I've heard of that one too. I've seen it a lot at Games Done Quick, actually.
So it's similar to Talos Principle, but Talos Principle was much more like telling you directly, kind of doing that. Like,
from what I've seen, it's like more story, like traditional storytelling in it,
right,
in a puzzle game or whatever. Just with a puzzle game.
Yep. But the other really cool thing about The Witness, because as I said, there's like 600 something puzzles in the game. Most of them are on those LCD screens, but some of them are environmental puzzles.
Oh.
And like the first time you climb to the top of the mountain, it kind of introduces you to your first one. But you start getting to the point where you can start finding puzzles in the water, or the way that the rocks are lined up, or maybe the way that these panels on this building are. At first, it's, it doesn't look like it, but as you're riding on the boat around the island, suddenly it lines up and you're like, oh, that looks like one of the puzzles on the LCD screen. So you start having these environmental pieces that each of the areas of the island have like a totem pole, and so it'll like show you all of the environmental, well, not all of the environmental puzzles, but it kind of gives you a way to kind of judge how many of them you've completed, and you will start to unlock more of those storytelling cues. So like in the very center of the map, there's actually, you have to go through a bunch of puzzles, but you'll find this like room that's like an underground theater. And as you complete the environmental puzzles, you'll get videos that, again, they're philosophical, they're scientific, they're religious, they have nothing to do with the actual story themselves, like directly, but it starts to allow you to piece together more of what had happened based off of the subject of these videos. So it's really cool. It's really neat how it does that. Everything is a mystery. Like, that's the best way to put the game. Everything is a mystery. And
How long do you think it takes to like not necessarily doing every puzzle, but like kind of
if you are
getting through
puzzle,
getting the most out of the story or whatever?
yeah, if you are getting like if you're pretty average at puzzles and you're just trying to hit like all the main ones and just kind of get to the climax of the quote unquote story, I think Jonathan Blow estimated it was like about 80 hours to solve.
Jeez.
Really?
But
what is how long to beat, say?
Well, but again, that's like too, like, because it's a puzzle game. So if you're like good at puzzles, it can cut that time in half or more.
Yeah, it's probably a big giant. What's the term? I can't remember statistics. Range of values, I guess.
Right. Like in some of them, like you might go to an area and the puzzles make total sense to you, and you have no problem. You get to another area, and to you personally, these puzzles make no sense. Like you're having a really hard time figuring out why these things work, or how to beat them. So it's really hard to give a hard and fast. It takes roughly this amount of time. And again, too, if you're trying to go through and complete all of the puzzles that are possibly there, it might take even longer.
Out of 166 pulled for the main story, the average is 17 hours and 42 minutes. Completionists out of 55 pulled is 47 hours and 3 minutes on average.
Oh, okay.
And leisurely pace 73 hours.
Yeah,
sadly,
it's a good amount of content.
I wanted to play the game, but sadly, it's first person. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, it isn't too terribly like fast, and you can turn off motion blur and all that, but it still might be a little bit much for you.
I remember trying to watch someone stream it when it came out, and I couldn't. So.
Yeah, but it is pretty. I don't want to say slow paced because that's not at all. It's very relaxed. Yeah. That's a good way to.
It's not like a shooter where you're constantly janking the camera around and stuff.
Exactly. I'm trying to pull open online to see how long it took me to complete it. Because I got through like 640 some odd puzzles and I couldn't find the last ones.
Mm.
And that's one thing too, right? Like you could go online and like follow everything and just totally destroy the game for yourself. But it's one that it is very satisfying to work through everything on your own. Some of the puzzles get difficult, sure, but eventually you get to the point where you're like, okay, this has been difficult. Let me go to a different area, and maybe I will have an epiphany when I come back. And that's kind of puzzle games in general, right? Like if you're having a hard time, step away and then come back to it and see, if you're still having to be there. But overall, it is like if you like puzzle games, it is a 10 out of 10 for me. Like in the puzzle game genre, like it is that good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean a lot of people do. Didn't it win something at the Game Awards?
Probably.
I believe so. It
probably
no,
it
didn't.
It didn't win anything,
but it was nominated for the best independent game.
Okay, gotcha.
Global Game Awards, it was nominated for Best Adventure, Best Indie, Best Open World, and Best Original Game. The Game Developers Choice Award, it was nominated for Best Design and Innovative Award. And then it has a few other like kind of smaller ones. Mostly Best Original, Best Indie, Best Visual, variations on that thing. All of them just nominated though, none that it actually won.
Yeah.
But I think like
you said it was on PS in this month, right?
PS4 or
it's on PSN for the month of March, which I think starts the first Tuesday of March.
I think. Yeah, I can't remember if it's the first or second.
About the time that this recording comes out, it should be good to go. If not, wait a day or two.
You got no excuse, people, if you got PSN. Unless you're me and you can't play FPSs. Not just FP games. It's not a shooter.
I'll definitely add it to my library. I might give it a go. We'll see.
All right, Mal. Take us home. Take us home.
Country road. No. So
Free to play. I belong.
Anthem recently came out, and it was poorly received.
Yeah, critically for sure.
Yeah, critically,
I've seen
definitely.
mixed reviews for the most part, but
I mean, I say poor received, but I think it's around like a 6-ish, like a mid 6 as a game, which
the games
isn't
in general
the
tend
worst,
to average
but
like 7.
yeah, it's with the weirdness of like numeric or the number system. It's pretty bad for review. Considering it's a AAA by BioWare and everything.
Yeah,
they definitely would have wanted a higher review. But a lot of the disappointment out of the game is the end game, because a lot of people say it's the base, like playing through the story, leveling up. It's a fun game, but when you reach the end, that's it. Which, I mean, a lot of times, or I mean, traditional games, that's fine. But with this, that is kind of, you're still, the intention is that you're going to keep playing it, because this is a game as a service. Which, I just want to talk about games.
It's a big buzzword now.
Yeah.
It's a huge buzzword.
Yeah. Well,
I can
a
hear
buzz
the bees.
phrase, I guess.
I can hear the bees all around me.
Right. And just kind of get our thoughts on, how, games as a service. What do we think about them?
You guys are, or at least at one point, were big proponents of Destiny as well. So maybe you can talk about your experiences with that.
I'm more okay with games as a service than I might have been a couple years ago, to be honest. I think it depends mainly on the customer service, for lack of a better term, of the parent company of the game. So, like, original Destiny, when it first came out, was a little meh, but I didn't play it initially then. I joined in about the time that
and it was not anything amazing.
But about the time that House of Wolves dropped was when I jumped in, and then I got sucked into it. Like, I was playing that thing.
The big thing about Destiny is like the gunplay is pretty top notch. Like even base game. But like the rest of the game was lackluster.
Yeah. But I mean, right, I could have fun doing repeat content because of that gameplay. Because the gunplay was so fine-tuned, I had no problem going through the same maps.
And there was really enough. Like, by the time you get to year 2, year 2, like, there's really enough content to keep you going, like...
Exactly. And even if you get bored on something, you can go back and do something else that you haven't done for a while or something. Yeah. And they had weekly tasks, the Nightfall and all that,
Like, it definitely seems like the same thing, especially with the shooters especially. Like, the release is always, like, sketchy at best. Like,
yeah.
And now, like, after, after Destiny and The Division especially, like, you got Fallout 76 and now Anthem, who are just like, they should have been able to learn some lesson, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, like I'm more willing to be forgiving of lack of content because it's brand new. But if the gameplay sucks, if the gameplay is like including, when I say gameplay, I don't just mean the mechanics, but I also mean the progression. Like if you're gonna have something where you're setting me up and I've hit top level in the first 5 hours I'm playing, and then I'm not having anything to do with that top level, then what was the point of me hitting top level?
Yeah. But like, you shouldn't should you be expected to pay $60 for a game that doesn't feel like it's got enough
worth
to
it
play?
Yeah, I think and that's where it's hard for me, because like what's the turnaround, right? Paying a monthly subscription, like at some point I'm playing, like even if they were to charge like 10, like I don't know, let's say Netflix prices and charge $10 a month roughly. if I play the game for more than 6 months, then yeah, I'd rather them just charge $60. But if I'm going to be bored and only really play it for like a week,
Yeah.
maybe I might be more keen on that subscription, you know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but also games like League of Legends and stuff fall into this category too, right?
Yes, but so yeah, I think the free to play games as a service tend to be. I mean, there are plenty of garbage ones, but there are plenty of good
Even
ones.
stuff like For Honor,
that-
I guess, to an extent, because it has like seasons and stuff.
Yeah, like at a base level, anything with a season pass is basically a
And it's not
Yeah.
just
game as a
DLC
service.
for the game.
Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, Final 15 is exactly a game as a service.
Yeah.
Like
What?
the
That's
amount of
Square
stuff.
saying they were going through
Like when you get tons of like updates to things, like when it's like mixing in free updates and paid updates, like you really start to get into that region of, you know, it's something to extend the life of a game outside of just doing like one or two
I'm
big
more
expansions.
so on that note, I am more okay with games as a service when it is in an MMO type thing, right? Like it's a social service and you're paying for the ability to use their servers to play with other people that otherwise
You might not be using their servers.
well, you know what I mean.
For Honor.
Right. But
Ayo.
but when we go to like a solo game or single player games like Final Fantasy 15, games as a service is much more of a no-no to me. Like if you're selling me a game that only I'm playing, unless you're like each installation is legitimately adding like tons of content, just maybe charge me the whatever to buy it as DLC, but I don't want it as a games as a service. Like
That's basically what it is at that point, I guess. It is just basically DLC. It's just lots of DLC, I guess.
Right, but at some point, right, like if it's lots of DLC, just package it together in one big thing, and rather than nickel and dime,
like an expansion pack or something.
Right, rather than charging me $20 for something that really you could cram the next 3 together, and it would be $30 with all 3. Just do that, like. But they're also businesses, and I understand that it's a business practice that works,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends on the content for me, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like MMOs, I mean, that's obviously the model they live and die on is subscription based, like tier.
Right.
Slow dripping out of the content. Yeah, I don't mind that.
At this point,
that's a
there are
different
like
model.
2 MMOs, right?
Yeah, 14 and WoW.
Yeah.
Essentially, are the big ones. But even like, and I don't buy a lot of like DLC add-ons, but for the recent games that I've really loved and enjoyed, like Final Fantasy 15, when Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff comes out, I'll buy all that stuff too. I'm sure. I mean, depending on what it is. If it's like
Nomura, I think,
mini
is not
games.
quite up to. I think he's a few years behind because he's just like he's always like head down in his games. So I think we're only just hitting like
That's
the
a
last
topic
gen
in
of
itself.
gameplay style. So
Yeah.
I expect just DLC, not like I don't expect Kingdom Hearts to be a game as a service.
I want to come back to depressed Nomura as a potential topic, but because I find it fascinating. But anyways,
why release the fully functional game when you can add microtransactions and hopefully you'll get more updates as it goes on?
That's the part that's bad that I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, not all of them have microtransactions. No Man's Sky is definitely something that has been maintained as a service and has gotten considerably better as far as I know.
But like
was
CSGOs
not
and
well received.
your CSGOs, your Overwatches, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say that I think the other thing too is how predatory is service.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's how shady is the way that they're presenting it. I have no problem really with it in general, right? Like it is a business model. I understand.
Yeah, you're okay with the concept.
Yeah, it's just don't act like an evil corporation that I'm going to find.
When lots of kids are stealing their mom's credit cards to buy stuff, that's when you know you've gone too far.
Battlefield 5, I believe, DICE was promised. They promised to like maintain it and stuff, and then just just everything they did made it worse, and it never became good. Like Destiny 1 became quite good, I would say. Then they came out with Destiny 2 and decided to wipe the slate.
It's
but now
apparently
we're
getting better.
back to being good again. It was good for a bit, and then they had a lull, and now it's back to good, I guess, again. So,
Well, of course.
And Tets is a robot again.
Four Tets. It's just one of those nuts.
Division 2 actually might be one of the first in that style of game that may have actually finally learned from everything that came before it. From I played the beta and everything, I understand.
People watch that game.
They weren't changing they changed some things, but not enough to really.
Yeah.
They didn't pull a Destiny basically.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if people are willing to pay for whatever, I guess if they don't think it's worth it, they're not going to pay for it. So I'm guessing, I really don't have a problem with games as a service on the whole, but it does just come down to more of that, predatory, predatory microtransactions, 10 minutes of DLC for, $20, crap like that's where...
Well, so, before we go on, did Tats you back?
Yeah.
Okay, did you have more to say?
I don't remember what I was saying, and I kind of roboted at that point, but I did actually have something to disagree with what Obs just said just now.
Go on.
All right.
About how people will pay money only if they think it's worth it, and that, to a degree, there has kind of become this thought process of, well, what else is there? If I don't pay for this, I'm just not going to have any games at all. And that's not okay to me. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I forgot the exact way that Obs had said just a moment ago.
I said, if it's not worth it, then people won't pay for it, essentially, to them.
Yeah. And while, yes, that's true to a certain extent, I feel like people will also be well, I would normally say no, but there's no alternatives. And because the whole games industry is doing this, I guess I have to do this if I want to be a gamer, if I want to play with my friends.
Those people ain't looking hard enough.
Right. Well,
we ain't at Event Horizon yet, boys.
Yeah, and there's truth to that statement as well. But
it depends though. It depends on how invested you are in maybe a game style or a franchise. You want more Destiny 1, you can't go elsewhere for it. You're stuck with Destiny 2, but it's done.
But I mean, say you want a really good first-person shooter. What options do you have besides these new MMO FPSs?
Go back and play Halo 2.
With who? Who's gonna play Halo?
All your buddies you played with growing up.
Right. I mean, and I'm playing the devil's advocate, of course, but there is kind of that mindset, and that kind of goes back to that predatory practice because they're making these things the norm. They are the norm to those that are just now really coming into being, fully fledged gamers that are able to, standing on their own. And so they don't think that there's anything wrong with spending these crazy amounts of money on this stuff because we're known before. And to a degree, the opposite's true of us because we knew these other times were a little bit set in our ways.
This is why games preservation is so important. That's just one of the many reasons. Sadly, servers cost money to run.
Yeah. To go back to Anthem, I guess. It's a lot of people are saying it's kind of another one of those unfinished games. But, it's not worth it. But how much do you have to include? What makes it worth it? It's so Time to Beat has anywhere from 15 to 30 hours to beat the story, which is, by most people's accounts, the good part of it. Or the story and leveling up.
That seems shorter than I thought it would be for a BioWare game, but...
Right, but there are plenty of games that those are completely reasonable times that you will pay $60 for.
Is right in that range. I think my God of War file was a little over 20 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
That was worth $60 to me. I didn't feel ripped off.
Right. If I spent, 20 hours on this game, was it enough that I only spent or got the 20 hours out of it, even though there's sort of like a social contract almost, or like an understanding that I'm supposed to be getting more like an ongoing experience out of this game.
Yep. I think it kind of goes back to everybody's subjectivity to what's fun. How much is your time worth? But B too, how you kind of hit it on the head there when how much have we been promised?
Right.
Like, that I'm gonna sell this product for $60.
Nope. Robot.
Yeah, you roboted out again, Tits. Like God, poor Tits.
All right, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, keep going.
Like you're told that you're gonna pay $60, but you're gonna be able to play with your friends, and you're gonna keep having fun, and you're just gonna be able to jump in and do all these things, and then there ends up you can, but it's just 3 revolving items that you do. And there's that disingenuity that also plays on that. Well, this isn't fun, partially because
feels like a hit against it, like
right. But you're also getting that negative because they promised more than, or they felt like they promised more than what they presented, and that letdown can be conscious or unconscious, but it still affects the value you get out of your every minute you play.
Yeah. And we probably come with it because we grew up with like as consoles were evolving, and so like I remember playing my NES when I was 4, but it's one of my earliest memories.
To the way like of the Gen 1 and 2 consoles. Like,
no, not at all.
What get released is what you get, good and bad.
Like it's like we kind of have it really good right now. That games are like kind of like always living. Like it's that's like pretty cool when you think about it compared to like spending $60 for an NES game that you beat in 3 hours.
I mean, games, it's very interesting. Like games have always been like $60 basically.
Yeah, and that was $60 back then.
Right. Like after inflation and stuff, like games have only gotten cheaper for people.
Oh yeah, games have never been cheaper to play.
But I mean, they cost more, but that's not necessarily a good argument for like doing these type of being necessarily more predatory, because I mean you can kind of make it up in volume now because the group of like people buying these games is so much bigger these days.
And now all the most popular games are the free games. So
right. I saw some people arguing that, or at least one person argued, and then there was like a chain of people like sort of agreeing and disagreeing about like if a game ever gets stuff added to it, it is an unfinished game. Like,
oh wow, that's pretty extreme. But
I mean, by
it's being semantical, but yes, by definition, it is technically an unfinished game because things are always being added to it. When is a thing finished? But at the same time, it's like you kind of know what they mean.
Yeah. Right, yeah. I mean, like, Monster Hunter came out...
I think you cut out again, Ted.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Yep, you did.
Like, Monster Hunter came out, and I would say that was it's had additions, free content. It's basically a game as a service. Done pretty well, I would say. And it was a complete game at release.
Yeah.
Like maybe a little sparse on some things when you compare older Monster Hunter games, but
yeah, you got to give it the eye test essentially. Like, that's obviously a way more complete game than Anthem, judging by people's response to it. So,
yeah. So I guess is this just the way the future's going to go though? Like,
it's just where we're at, man.
In at least for the AAA world, at least, like you're still going to have indie games. Like, I mean, in somewhat, like, I mean, with the free-to-play games like Warframe, Path of Exile, League of Legends, and then of course Fortnite, are definitely here. But
I don't see those going away anytime soon.
No, you don't.
It's just
curious. I guess are we just going to keep getting? It's just like you keep seeing a lot of the same problems with, at least in like the MMO style games, I guess, like the MMO light style games, and I'm just curious if people end up being fed up with them, and they'll end up fading away, or
I could see the looter shooter going away for sure.
yeah, and not even looter shooter, because I mean it was I guess because Diablo, not quite, it's not a looter shooter, but
I was gonna say looter shooter I think could stick around, but probably in the single player realm.
Yeah, I mean
like
Borderlands was
right.
Yeah,
I expect Borderlands 3 to be way more games as a service, but
That's true.
if it ever comes out.
I think the
But how much is that
battle
just because
royale
it's-
style.
How much is that just because that's the trend right now? And
Yeah, which I'm just curious how long this will is this just the future of gaming period, or if it's just a fad style thing?
Yeah, I think it's here to stay for the foreseeable future.
Right.
I don't know what model replaces it that makes more sense from a business perspective.
Yeah, a lot of these games still end up being profitable, though not necessarily as profitable as one might like. Hence why Activision split with Bungie over Destiny. But also, reviews get a little weirder, I guess, with these style.
You'll often see annotations and updates to them.
Yeah, or sometimes you won't, and then they just kind of end up being useless because
yeah, exactly.
Someone who reviewed Destiny at release, if someone was looking to get into year 2 or 3, looking at those old reviews would just
get nothing.
Just so bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people are like, well, should they get points because it's probably going to be better later? But I mean that seems a bit much.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that seems like a poor decision, but I definitely saw Anthem reviews though that they didn't give them points for it. It's still hey, it's a 67 out of 100, but I mean, I could definitely see this being a lot better in the future.
I feel like that's much more true, right? That's much more. This is the current state of the game, but again, the problem is, are they going to update it later when the game changes?
Yeah, at least with these kind of games that are promised to be games as a service up front, should definitely be at least cognizant of it.
Yeah.
They say, hey, this could definitely be better, or I don't see how this, Fallout 76, I don't see how this is going to get any better.
there's no redeeming that. It's done.
Right.
When it hit $20 after a few weeks of it being out.
And they were giving it away with used controllers in Germany.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Germany's GameStop was giving away free copies if you bought a used controller.
Please take this. It's taking up space.
That is amazing.
Oh man.
I think I don't know how to quite to say. Part of me too, right? It's with reviewers, to a degree, there's some level of they're paid, right? Paid reviewers. And I feel as a game as a service, as a business model, if you're gonna pay a reviewer to review your games at the beginning, you might want to pay them to revisit it, and that might fix things. I don't know.
Something to look.
Look at, it just depends. It depends on how you me as a trained journalist, to be objective. If I was reviewing a game like that for a major publication, then I would definitely go back and re-review it because that's the most. I want to say that's the most shows the most integrity to do, but it's certainly being the most objective about it.
Yeah, it's kind of. You're kind of playing as intended, I guess, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You don't play. What's another good example of I don't know. Yeah, just
you wouldn't go back and re-review Tales of Berseria again.
Oh yeah.
But you would an Anthem, obviously, or Destiny 2. Particularly when big expansions drop and stuff, because that's when you get a lot of the good updates.
Yeah.
Whether it be addendum or just a new review that links back to the old one, and vice versa. No, go out and play the best game as a service, battle royale game, or what I hear, Tetris 99. Have you watched anyone stream that?
No.
It's pretty funny when they start out. I want to get it because I haven't got it yet because I've been playing Final Fantasy and generally been sick. But
Wait, what is this?
Tetris
The
Battle
Tetris
Royale.
Battle Royale game.
only on the Switch
Tetris
eShop
99,
right
I
now.
think. It's,
It's you playing Tetris Attack versus
Tetris.
99 other people. It's so funny when you start off and everyone just immediately gangs up on you. When that randomly happens to the one person, and they just go, and get, like, blasted out with garbage. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, all right. Well, I think that wraps up our discussion on that.
Shane Meta wasn't here. I think you would have had a lot to say about that.
Yeah, a lot of the topics I've thought of I have pocketed are all discussion topics, and I'm like, well, that's it. Meta's gonna have to miss this one.
Yeah. We'll just make fun of him next week about it. Well, we're getting close to our 2-year anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In like 2 weeks, I believe.
Yes, I believe that is accurate. Yep.
Yep.
That'll be your 2-year.
Yep. All right. This has been episode 76 of Podcast of Five Rings, your source of alignment in their own video games, tabletop, anime, film, and tech. Each episode, Podcast of Five Rings, releases Monday mornings on iTunes and SoundCloud and Topic on Topic day by day on YouTube, with the full video releasing on Friday. Check us out on social media at Twitter, Podcast5R, Facebook, P5R Podcast, Bad Lily Stream, twitch.tv/PSO Flow. And I won't belabor the point because my voice is done. We will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.